I would also say the DEI conversation is for everyone because we all have identities.
Mutual understanding stands at the core of the Fulbright mission, which is why diversity, equity, and inclusion are important topics for the Global Fulbright Program. To showcase and further improve diversity, the Global Fulbright Program works together with 3 regional diversity coordinators. Their duties revolve around guiding Fulbright commissions in their practices in order to attract a diverse pool of participants, offering commission staff support and providing them with advice on diversity-related topics relevant to each commission's program participants. In summer 2024, Steve B. Irakoze became the Regional Diversity Coordinator for Europe and Eurasia. At the beginning of the 2024-25 program year, Steve sat down with us to discuss his position, the challenges that identity and belonging pose, and the significance of DEI to the Fulbright program and to its current and future program participants.
My position is Regional Diversity Coordinator for Europe and Eurasia, the Fulbright Program. I'm here to support the commissions and the embassies on making sure the grantees, the US grantees, have the best experience when they come to spend time in Europe. So my job mainly is to go to support commissions during orientations, which is what I'm doing here in Austria, for example, giving trainings and leading conversations on DEI, helping the US grantees understand the cultural context of the country they're going to spend some time in. I also hold webinars and special events online where grantees can join to discuss about what they're experiencing in their countries, the differences they're seeing between the US and their new home. So I would say for me, one of the biggest DEI challenges in Europe right now is one of belonging. We have in several countries conversations about who belongs. I'm French, for example, but I was born in Burundi, so I'm Burundian born. I was a refugee before becoming a French citizen. So for some, they would say I do not fully belong to the French national community. And you see this conversation happening in other countries as well. So I would say for me, one of the biggest challenge is to redefine the belonging, the national identities, and to really find common ground so that we all feel like we belong, no matter our differences, because I do believe those differences make us richer instead of dividing us. I think being someone with roots in Africa, as I said, in Burundi, being a member of the LGBTIQ plus community, I bring a perspective that is interesting for programs such as the Fulbright program to hear, because the more we have a diverse set of perspective around the table, the more the Fulbright program is able to design programming and activities that really match what some grantees would want to see, some US grantees would want to see when they come to Europe. We also need to showcase a diverse Europe, which is something that I find interesting for an American to come to Europe and to see that what they see in Emily in Paris, for example, is one part of France, but there are also other sides to France that they can discover and that they can understand and relate to. So I think my personal identity as an immigrant, as a French of African descent, as an LGBTIQ plus community, brings something different to the Fulbright program. So I have a background in legal advocacy. I worked a lot on migrant rights, refugees' rights, and the LGBTIQ plus community. I did advocacy, community organizing. So I guess the whole idea of working around diversity issues, working around equity issues, fostering belonging is very important for me, is something that is really, I'm passionate about fostering belonging, and also because of what I said earlier about my personal journey. So I was drawn to the Fulbright program position of this person that would make sure the US grantees feel like they are seen, valued, and embraced within the program, and that this person would also show Americans the diverse, faces of Europe. So I guess I was drawn based on my personal journey, but based also on my values and what I believe in. I think it's important for the Fulbright program to keep focusing on DEI and to keep being committed to DEI. Well, first, because in order for US grantees belonging to marginalized communities, voices you don't necessarily see in exchange programs such as this one, they might feel like this is not my place. But for the Fulbright program to focus on DEI, to say we see you and we value you and you have a place within us, for me, it's a way, A, to make sure they have a great experience if they are actual grantees, but it's also a way to tell prospective grantees or people who might look at the Fulbright program and say, is that really something I could do? Yes, it is something you can do because we are trying baby steps, but we are building a program where hopefully you will feel valued, seen, and embraced. I would say, first of all, for the Fulbright program as an institution, for the commissions, for the embassies where in countries where they don't have commission, I would like them to see DEI not as a separate conversation, but as something that needs to be weaved in, streamlined in every initiative they do, from the call of applications to the committee selecting the grantees, to the onboarding of the incoming grantees, to the actual experience when people are, spending the year in the country, and then to offboarding, because I do believe the grantees and the alumni will be the ambassadors of the program. So the best experience they have, the safest experience they have, the best they're going to talk about the program afterwards in order to bring other people to the Fulbright program. For the grantees themselves, I would say keep an open mind, be curious about learning from your peers, the people you will meet on your cohort. They may be different from you, but you still have so much in common. I would also say the DEI conversation is for everyone because we all have identities. And DEI is a conversation about how can we make sure we are equitable towards each other and we create an environment where everyone is safe regardless of our differences. So yes, be open and be curious about learning from each other.